What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another SLA video. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this Sunday. 40 centimeters of snow yet again in our place, but we have a lot to talk about. A brand new feature just got released, and that is the upgrading of your weapons to level 120. And this is a very, very important one. So pay attention, because you're going to be very strict about what you level up and why. And the reason behind that is because right now, currently, to get a level 120 weapon, the resources are so hard to acquire because the only way to do so is through gates. Now, I'm going to explain to you how this all works, and then we're going to talk about which weapons you want to focus on and why, and then we're going to talk about the future of this feature and how it all goes down. Now, if you guys are in the level 43 section of the gates, you guys can see these purple designs are now available, or I guess these red designs are now available, right? They're the heroic ones. So purple gates will now only drop these designs, and right now they're the most coveted thing going to boost your account. You guys can see I own 6 of them. Right now, in order to get a weapon to level 110, you need I believe 2 or 4. Let me double check real quick. So let's just go to a weapon. Let's look at the spear, for example. If I want to just get this up, you guys can see here, it requires 2. Okay, so in order to get to level 110, you require 2 of these, 5 of these brand new essences, or these melding cubes, I should say, and then 117,000 gold, and then of course, you'll be able to level it up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to farm these. First off, purple gates. Literally, outside of doing your daily that you need to get the red one out of the way, purple gates is what you want to go for. Now, if you're free to play, if you don't want to waste your time, you can, of course, just go ahead and clear these by sweeping, but the A and S versions also drop them, so you have the option, of course, of actually doing the A and S ones in order to get yourself some essence stones along the way. But all I've been doing real quick is just going in here and just sweeping these just to try to get these out of the way, and then at the same time, hopefully get some of these along the way. Now, just a little quick tip about gates. You don't have to wait for all the gates to load. You can just click here and see what you have. Okay, there's a red, there's no purple. Click on that. Let's see, this one has a purple, so we're going to hold off. There it is. It just loaded. It's a little bit of a time saver, so you know you can load real quick or not, but this is an easy way to just keep scanning and finding it. There's another 2 purples there, so there's 2 gates right there. We're going to go ahead and see. Now, is there a better drop rate for A versus S versus B? Honestly, I haven't noticed, but we can go ahead and test it out. So what we'll do is we'll do this quick run together, and we'll see if this drop is any better. I've had extremely low drop rate. Now, for these specific designs, don't also forget that there will be a way to get them through the Battlefield of Time shop as well. They're going to be added in there. Right now, it looks very difficult because the only way is through the gates, but they are going to be slowly added into the Battlefield of Time, which will make life a lot easier for us to get, and then that will make getting these probably a lot more doable and getting your 110 a lot quicker as well. Okay, so I'm going to turn auto off for a sec because auto doesn't know what the heck it's doing. Let's just get these guys out of the way and kill them, and then I'm going to kill the boss quick, and then hopefully we get ourselves another design. Ideally, what you want to do you want to get a couple weapons to 110 or push to 120? Now, 120 gives you the most amount of power, but if you are going to be doing it for SJW first, then of course you want to push to maybe go 2 weapons to 110. So it's your call on that one, but we're going to look into all that together and see what makes most sense to everybody, okay? Now also don't forget, your hunters will require it as well too, and I'll talk all about which ones you want to focus on versus which ones you want to avoid, all right? So we'll do all that right after this is done. I've got already a few of them on my pay to win. This is my free to play, by the way, so I'm trying to push my free to play to try to get a couple of 120 weapons and then hopefully make hard mode a little easier. Okay, so you guys can see here, nothing dropped for me. Cool. I'm going to move on from that, okay? So, A, S, B, I've noticed from doing a ton of farming because I've been buying a lot of keys on my pay to win, the drop rates seem to be pretty much the same across the board. I haven't seen a difference at all in regards to what drops it more, what drops it less. So, I think you guys can see here, I haven't got one yet. It's pretty much consistent unless they can come out here with a percentage drop. It's really hard to tell if there is an actual difference. I don't think there is. It would make sense that A and S has dropped them more often, but from what I've been seeing, that doesn't seem to be the case. All right, so you guys can see here, we got 2 more keys. We're going to go ahead and do them, and hopefully we have enough to at least get 1 out of all of this. But right now, I think this is their way of making a little bit of money. I'm going to go ahead and do... I got to be here instead, just so I can just skip it. Hopefully I have enough skips. I don't even have enough skips, so I'm going to have to do... these manually. So we're going to go back and try to find some breakthroughs and do a couple of these. So there's one right there. And anyway, so as I'm doing this, I'm going to collect a few more of these guys. I'll see if I get one. If I do, I'll show you. If not, I'll be right back and we'll talk more about which weapons you do want to level up for SJW and which weapons you want to level up for which hunters specifically, so you can avoid the mistake and how it all works. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we've completed the last breakthrough gate here, or dungeon break gate, I should say, sorry, through gate. And it looks like this is the only chance I have to get a purple, and we did not. So out of all 10 of the keys, 0 drops. I did A's, S's, and B's. Nothing dropped for me. And you guys can see this is the frustration a lot of people have. But again, this is brand new content. And they did mention that when we do have them be in the shop, you're guaranteed at least to be able to buy them. Okay, I don't know the quantity yet. They haven't mentioned the quantity, but it will be available. Now, if you go to the actual item, let's just find the item here in the inventory right there. You guys can see if you click on source, it does say Battlefield of Time. If you move to Battlefield of Time, I don't think there's a way to get them here, at least from my understanding. Let's just go through this real quick. But I believe if you do them in the, let's see the ranking rewards. Maybe the rewards have them? No, I don't think the rewards have them either. Group rewards? No, none of these have them. Okay, I think it is literally from the shop. I think that's where they're probably going to have them. Okay, so most likely that's where you're going to be going. Now, let's talk about the more important part. Which weapons you want to focus on first and why. Okay, so I'm going to break this down to a couple of different sections, and I think this is super important for you guys to understand. So first off, weapon-wise for SJW. This is pretty straightforward, and I think this is going to help a lot of people understand where they should lay their focus. For weapons for SJW, it all depends on where you want to improve your most amount of content. Okay, when it comes down to, let's say, POD, all right, so Power of Destruction, the dragon. If you want to raise your score on that, you're realistically always using the Plum Sword. So Plum Sword is always going to be a #1 increase of power because it's one of the most widely used weapons in the game. So the Plum Sword to 120 makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now the next one in line, if you're looking to increase your damage and overall usability in the guild boss, then it's going to be the Moon Shadow Daggers. Okay, those are going to be your #2. All right. Now if you're looking to increase your guild boss runs, this is going to help you, especially, and this is actually more towards if you're running a DPS build, all right, for SJW. If you're not running a DPS build, then it doesn't really matter quite as much. You don't need to increase this, or the Grimoire, as a matter of fact. But if you're running a DPS version of SJW, then the Moon Shadow Daggers is going to be your next choice. Now, let's say you're looking to improve overall WOBL, okay? If you're doing WOBL, it all depends on which route you decided to go. If you are going through the route of fire, and that's where you want to focus, then you should be focusing on getting your Phoenix Bow up. So your Phoenix Bow would be your next in line. So fire weapons, Phoenix Bow. The fan is a support weapon, Phoenix Bow is your DPS weapon. So Phoenix Bow would be your #1 focus for fire. But if you're looking, and in my opinion, this is a better option, if you're doing the light version weapons of him, then SJW should be focusing on the actual staff. So if you have the Wukong staff right here, and this is your main weapon for WOBL, this should be your #1 in order to make you either progress further into WOBL hard mode or to be able to finish it faster, to farm it quicker, right? So this is the choice that I went with, and it's helped. It actually shaved like 30 seconds to 40 seconds off my SJW fight, making me able to farm way faster. And those are my best choices when it comes down to overall usability. Now, if you're a new player and you're a whale and you have the resources, and let's say you're doing Baron, another really good choice would be DKD here, Demon King Daggers, because they are the best choice for Baron. But I wouldn't do this personally. I would hold off and focus on the weapons that I just mentioned, because they are the most commonly used weapons currently to get the job done for WOBL and the other content that's currently out. So that is the SJW part. Now, what's the increase overall when it comes down to it? Now, listen, I have the Guild Spear as well. This is my main light weapon because I know I'm not going to be doing really well in WOBL hard mode, and I'm not going to be finishing it anytime soon. I could get this up technically, but I won't. So for me personally, it either makes the Plum Sword or the Moon Shadow Daggers being the #1 focus. I'll probably go with the Plum Sword, to be honest, because I do want to increase my POD scores a little bit more, and that's what I'll do. So I'll do this one with you guys. Now, in order to get the advanced dark melding cubes, you have to go to source, you got to craft, and then you go over here, you'll see it actually uses quite a few of these regular ones, okay? So you should have been going in here into the shop and buying these through the advanced mining materials, getting these all the time. I have 322 of them. I need 5, right? I need 5 of them in order to craft 1 plus 10 of these advanced mana crystals. So I buy these every single day from the shop. So if you go here, right, you can purchase them every day. You guys see I haven't bought this today, so I'm going to go here, buy these right there, and then you should always be buying these melding cube selection chests. Always. Those should be your 2 best options because they're always used, right? Now, in order to get this, I need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. You guys can see now I can go ahead and craft one of these weapons up to 120. So if I do this, right, if I decide I want to go with that right there will be my first level 120. So I'll go ahead and limit break this, show you guys how it works. Again, just to show you guys the advancement and power. There it is right there. You guys can see here I went from 2,500 to 2,790, 3,750 to 4,200, and then this cost a lot of gold, 647,000 gold, and quite a bit of materials just to get to 110. So I'm going to go to level this up, and you can see right there 1,325 increase in regards to my armory. So armory went up quite a bit as well. And then if I were to equip this right here, let's just take away this golden tail fox, put it in my plum sword. You guys can see my power just skyrockets to 11,000 more, which probably might push me over the next battle tier, and it does. So I'm now kicking on 47, moving on to 48. So that's how that works. Now, in order to get this to 120, it does require quite a bit more, unfortunately. It does require 4 instead, and 7 here. Now, I could craft these 7, of course. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we need a little bit more, so we'll add 3 more here. 1, 2, 3. I'll just pull that. I'll do 5. Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Crafted. Okay. And then you guys can see right there, melding cubes. If I go back here again and I limit break this, now I'll be completely going to 120. I'll reach this to 120. Again, I'm just doing this to show you guys. I don't have enough to level it up, but you guys can see 113 already raises it quite a bit, and quite a bit of gold is required. Now, in order for me to obviously get it further, I need to get more material, but I just want to show you guys how that works. Now, SJW, those are the best options. Now, for your hunters, this is completely up to you, but I'm going to make this absolutely clear. You should be focusing on your main DPS. So if you're a Kanae user, Kanae should be your main focus. If you're a Yusuyun user, Yusuyun should be your main focus. Those are the 2 I would do first, personally, because they're your main DPS for the newest WOBL, plus they excel in Guild Boss, plus they excel in POD. So especially Kanae right now, she should be your number 1 focus. Thomas is another great focus as well, too, if you don't have either of those characters and you want to get him up. Cha, believe it or not, is great right now in WOBL and every other content as well, including Guild Boss, so she's another really good one, but it should always be your main DPS. You shouldn't focus on support, don't focus on your breakers. Your main DPS is what brings results when it comes down to clearing content. So Kanae first, Yusuyun second, Thomas third, Cha fourth, I'd say. And then everyone else on the list here, you could even avoid unless you're trying to really build up POD damage, or if you're really trying to build up Guild Boss damage. But everyone else is expendable at this point. I would hold on to my resources at that point and just wait if you have those units up. And from there on, you can just look forward to the future, wait for Goto and any other units coming out, and then have the resources available to you to get that up. All right, so there you guys go. Let me know if you agree with this in the comment sections. If you have any comments or questions, let me know, of course. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Guys, go like, subscribe, hit that notification button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.